Hey everybody, back again. The SpinCycle streaming live. Let's see what's on my home page today. Cincinnati WKRP, you guys remember that show? Great show. Great show. Wex Lexman and Johnny Fever. U.S. judge tosses a case against ex-FBI Chief Comey, New York AG James, and New York AG James. What do you guys think about that? I guess I have to... A federal judge on Monday dismissed criminal charges against two perceived adversaries of President Donald Trump. Yeah, Comey, not a big fan. You could say he's responsible for getting Donald Trump elected in 2016, if everybody remembers his last minute, shenanigans with the Hillary Clinton emails. And then, he kind of got his comeuppance, I guess you say, when Trump started coming after him for supposedly lying to Congress, but I don't really think he lied, and I don't think anybody else thinks he lied. I think that's why this case was going nowhere, but And then Tish James, he's just pissed because she convicted Trump of 34 counts, in New York court, his company anyway, and yeah, well, he lost that. He's a convicted felon on 34 counts because she brought the charge against him, and he tried bringing her up on some bogus mortgage fraud charge, and it's not going to stick. So, but anyway, the reason the case was dropped was because Lindsay Halligan, the district attorney, was illegally appointed by Trump and his cronies, and there's a whole process you have to go through, and they skip the whole thing, just like Trump. Everything else, he just skips, all the hard stuff and tries to take shortcuts everywhere. And this time it didn't work, but a lot of times it does work for him. So, so. I don't know, somebody's watching. There's some serious lag, and just to figure out a way to fix that. Let's see what else is trending on X here. Bank of America, get along better. Commercial, an ad rather. As Thanksgiving gets closer, health experts have one big reminder: don't rinse your turkey, chicken, or any other poultry. Who cares? Can anybody even afford turkey this year? So I don't know if you saw this. Secretary Duffy, he's talking about people dressing better when they get onto the airplanes to, I guess according to him, if people dress better, they'll behave better. Let's try not to wear slippers and pajamas as we come. Yeah, all these guys who, Duffy and all these clowns, they fly first class. When you're sitting in those economy class bullshit tight ass seats, you gotta dress comfortable. Hell yeah, I'm gonna wear comfortable shoes, and yeah, I take my shoes off on the plane too. Tough luck. If I'm on a 17-hour flight to the Philippines, I'm taking my shoes off. I don't care what Duffy and all these business class and first class riders think. I mean, all these secretaries have private planes now. It's ridiculous how our government is now. I think Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, she bought 2 private planes, spent a couple $100 million of our tax money on planes so she could run around with her boyfriend, whatever his name is. Doesn't have to fly commercial. Such bullshit. They're not billionaires. They're government workers, and they're the ones out there, saying how federal workers are lazy and they don't deserve their jobs. Yeah, some federal workers are, like the cabinet federal workers. Kristi Noem and this Duffy jackass who's comes from reality TV, The Real World or something like that. What else we got here? Trump has balance issues due to his frontotemporal dementia. He'll eventually fall in public. He's almost always sitting down. He wears brace supports on his lower legs for balance. The 250-foot walk from Marine One to the White House will become too risky for him. Yeah, I believe that. Warren Schaefer is the Rockies manager. Who cares? Aren't the Rockies the worst team in baseball? I mean, I live in Colorado, but watching baseball is like watching paint dry. I mean, I used to be into it when I was a kid, but I would go to games at Shea Stadium, watch Darryl Strawberry and, that 86 team. Those guys were amazing. Gary Carter, Mookie Wilson, Len Dykstra. Doge was a colossal failure. By destroying instruments of American soft power such as USAID, Voice of America, Radio Free Europe, and Radio Free Asia, Doge only helped our autocratic adversaries without advancing a single American national interest. Yep. When they shut those programs down, there was a vacuum, and that vacuum is being filled by China. So, if you guys don't understand soft power, by helping other countries out, you wield influence and power. But when you pull away with that AIDS funding in Africa, and all the other stuff USAID did, and Radio Free Europe and Radio Free Asia, which is, promoting America in those countries, but the conservatives, they thought it was too liberal, too woke, so they got rid of it, Trump and the conservatives, and now that vacuum's being filled by China, and they're wielding the soft power that America enjoyed for 80 years after World War II. Spoke too soon. DSA voted that was that, and it looks like Zoran and AOC have a plan. I don't know what that's about. Emma Vigeland from the Minority Report. I definitely like watching Sam Cedar, and she's a good co-host. Senator Mark Kelly, these are his medals. He's an astronaut, a pilot in war. And Trump, President Bone Spurs, Cankles there, thinks that he should be executed because they made a commercial, some of the senators, saying that, if you, to the generals and the military in general, and they were just telling them what the law is. If you are told an illegal order, it's your duty, your constitutional duty, to not follow out with that order, like kill American citizens, because they're expecting Trump to do something like that when he loses the next election or the one after that. Sagar and Jetty from Breaking Point's a conservative. I don't agree with him on a lot of stuff. Duffy is absolutely right, but our declining travel dress is also a reflection of how airlines treat us. Cattle, well said, Sagar. Cattle boarding, tiny seats, penny pinching, every beverage cost, and just generally miserable. Dress better in return for flying better is a fair deal. I think I'll give him a heart for that, Sagar. Sagar, I've been watching him. He's only in his mid-30s. I've been watching him probably since he was his mid-20s. And his attitude, he's definitely, since the Trump administration, he used to be pro-Trump, but he just, he's seen in the last 10 years what a buffoon and fool Trump is and how bad he is for the country. So now he's definitely not liberal or progressive, but he's central, he's center right for sure, but he's definitely starting to see things more the way the world is, and not how, the conservative mind sees it. Kyle Clark, this guy he's a news anchor in Colorado. He's pretty good. I like watching him. As President Trump increases pressure on Colorado Governor Polis to free the Tina Peters, a close ally of Peters is calling for Governor Polis and Attorney General Weiser to be executed. MAGA podcaster Joe Ottman called for the execution. So Tina Peters is that crazy old lady who tried to give access in the 2020 election to, Trump's minions, which is 100% illegal. She ran the elections in Western Colorado, and now she's doing 9 years in jail because she was convicted of breaking the law. And these guys seem to think she should be let out for some reason. And yeah, now they're calling for people to kill the Attorney General and the Governor of Colorado. MAGA is just insane. Let's hear what this idiot has to say.
Trying to analyze their digital rules, tried to come away Our suggestion is that the European Union and their trade ministers deeply consider trying to analyze their digital rules, try to come away with a balance, not put them away, but find the balanced approach that works with us. And if they can come up with that balanced approach, which I think they can, then we will, together with them, handle the steel and aluminum issues and bring that on together. So that is on the table. Our suggestion is that the European Union and their trade ministers deeply
proposal, and at this point we're still waiting to know exactly what's in it, but we're told it could include a temporary extension of the Enhanced Affordable Care Act subsidies, which are due to expire at the end of the year. They were at the center of the government shutdown. Zach, thanks for being here. As I noted, we are very much still waiting for specifics here. I'm sorry, this has actually been, sorry, Zach, we're getting breaking news while I'm talking to you. I have learned that the White House has postponed its expected unveiling of this new health care proposal. It was expected to be unveiled today. We'll learn more, hopefully, about that in the coming moments.
Yeah, so if you didn't hear about this, Trump, he was going to come out with a health care proposal to extend the subsidies for, this is what the whole government shutdown was about, to extend so they could extend the subsidies for Obamacare or the ACA. Some people, I know a lot of MAGA thinks ACA and Obamacare are different things, but they're the same exact thing. He was going to extend the subsidies, was going to give in basically, and a bunch of conservative members of Congress said, no way, we're not doing that, we're not helping poor people, we only give, in the Republican Party, we only give tax breaks to billionaires, we don't help poor people. So they stopped Trump from doing it, actually. He's losing a lot of power. I mean, he's going down fast. One of his biggest sycophants, Marjorie Taylor Greene, announced she's leaving Congress. There's a bunch of Republicans in Congress that are going to retire before 26 because they don't want to get their asses beat in the election. Anyway, guys, my mic is dying. Sure, this is just a short. I'm just trying out these live streams. I hope to someday get people to watch them, but I will repost this again. It's only like 20 minutes long, and I'm going to start doing longer live streams. I got to pre-charge my mic, or I have another mic that I could plug in. I just got to get it together here. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and drop a super chat next time you're on. Subscribe, like, share if you like what we're doing here at the SpinCycle, and I will see you again next time.